Perhaps you are in a relationship. How is it going? Are you enduring the relationship? Are you surviving in the relationship? Or you are leaving the relationship? You know, we enter into relationships, marriage, whichever kind of relationships, between a man and a woman without understanding the foundation principles of the female and the male relationships. So in this video, I'm going to take you back into the history and the main reason behind the male and the female relationships biologically, socially, spiritually, and then when we understand this, we can discuss why relationships today looks the way they are. Many men say the best women have been taken. Do you believe in that? And many women also go around saying we can't find a man that will understand us. We can't find a man that can cherish us. Do you also believe in that? These are some of the things we are going to talk about in this video. My name is Emmanuel Ocherimensa, and don't forget, this is the official YouTube channel for the Gospel Film Hub GH, Ghana's premier Christian film ministry, where you can always get Ghanaian Christian movies to watch free of charge. All you need to do is to subscribe to this channel. When you subscribe, it doesn't take any money from you. So just press on the subscribe button, and then you will be subscribed to this channel. And what does that mean? Anytime a new video drops on this channel, you will get notification on your phone, and then you can watch. All right, so let's get into the conversation for the day. How or why was the relationship between males and females established? Before history, or I should say during the prehistoric times, males and females moved together for purposes that are missing today. One, in the male, the female found protection. Protection from what? Protection from predators, wild animals, dangerous animals, wild environment, wild weather. The man protected, or the males protected the females from wild animals. That's how, or that's why the males formed simple weapons from wood and stones, so that when a wild animal attacked them, it was the male who stood in to fight for protection. In the same way, when the weather was too bad, when the weather was too hot, it was the man who was supposed to protect the woman from the harsh weather conditions by building shelters for the woman. In the same way, in the very cold and chilled weather, it was the man who went about looking for caves or getting protective shelter for the female against the weather. That was when the men discovered that the skin of some wild animals could be taken and used to clothe the woman anytime she felt cold. The males provided protection for the females. And then also, the males provided security for the females. It could be safety security, it could be food security. So the males made sure that their females were fed. That's how the males became hunters. They went into the wild, hunted for wild animals or bushmeat to feed the female. You see, these were not obligations. The females did not place these demands on the males. Give me a house, give me, no. It was a natural responsibility. Because during that time, even language was not well developed, where people could sit and communicate. You see, my dear, you know the children are getting plenty, we need the house to accommodate. No. They moved mostly in silence. The females watched the males hunting for animals quietly, bringing home the meat. And then the females also took their time to prepare the meat for the family. Nobody placed demands. Nobody made negotiations. Nobody made requests. But everybody saw their part in the relationship. The men provided food security. So when there was no food, the men went around wandering in the wilderness or in the environment, and when they found a tree bearing fruits, the males climbed the trees and started plucking the fruits. They pluck the fruit, they drop it on the ground. They pluck the fruit, they drop it on the ground. And then the females gathered the fruits. So at the end of the day, they had food to eat. The males also provided leadership, physical, emotional, and spiritual leadership to the females. So when there was a drought or they were in need of water, the males could scan the environment, look around, and tell the female, let's move this direction. They could walk that direction for miles, even days, before they could meet rivers. But the females always trusted the leadership of the males. When the males say, let's go to the north, let's go to the west, let's go to the east in search of water, the females did not challenge. They followed the leadership of the males, and they always got to where they could find water, be it rivers, streams, or whichever. The females trusted the leadership of the males, not only in search of physical things, but also for spiritual understandings, for spiritual values. The males led the females in that direction as well. These were the basic foundation principles of the male and the female relationships. Also, the males provided companionship for the females. After the security is provided, after there is protection, they all felt safe, then the man provided, or the male provided the female with companionship. That is why the Ashantis will say, "Humanisoma minti ena atwi mienu enam." And then they also said that our rebone entise wonko woda. No matter how bad your relationship could be, it's better than being lonely. These were the basic reasons for the male-female relationships. Now let's come to the females. What did they provide the males in those relationships? The females provided the males with comfort. After all the hard work of the day is done, the female provided the male with comfort. When the body is aching, when the muscles are strained, when the muscles are tired, the males found solace, the males found comfort in the bosom of their females. So when you are a male and you are sick, you don't feel okay, you don't feel good, and you get an accommodating female who will accept you into her chest for you to rest comfortably. See how good it feels. And that is why even up to now, you see a grown-up man who squeeze himself for the cuddle of a woman, squeeze himself in the bosom of a woman. Primarily, that is where males find comfort. Apart from that, females also ensured that the values and the legacy of the male is sustained. What do I mean by that? I am Ochre Mensah. I give birth to children. My legacy will be seen in my children. My values are supposed to be seen in my children. But it is the female who will make sure that all this happens. It is the female who will carry my children in her womb. And when the children are born, it is the female who will train them according to my traditions and my values. Not the values of her parents, not the values of social media, not the values of her beliefs, but the values of the man is sustained through the woman. That is why in the Bible, when Isaac and Rebekah gave birth to Jacob and Esau, the Bible says that Jacob dwelt in tents. Jacob lived around her mother, Rebekah. And so it was Rebekah who taught Jacob the Jewish values, the Jewish beliefs. That is how come Jacob saw the value, the importance of birthright. And so when his brother came to ask for his food, he said, "Give to me your birthright." So it takes a woman who understands the man's beliefs, legacies, and values, and then teach the children those values, so that when the man dies, his values will not die with him. When the man dies, his beliefs will not die with him. When the man dies, his vision will not die with him. When the man dies, his legacy will not die with him, but they will live beyond his name. I am not the first Ochirimensa in my tribe. My grandfather was Ochirimensa. My father was Ochirimensa. I am Ochirimensa. And there are many Ochirimensas who will come after me. And if we will be able to add a value to the name Ochirimensa, it will come from a woman. So it will get to a point when we mention the name Ochirimensa, people will place value on it. People will place reputation on it. Hey, you are an Ochirimensa. Oh, okay, that's why. Oh, you are an Ochirimensa. Then you are from this family. Oh, okay, that's why. If value will be added to my name, it will come from the woman. If my name will live beyond my life, even after my death, my name will be sustained, it will come from a woman who will accommodate the children in her womb, give birth to them safely, nurture them according to my beliefs. And so when I am no more, through the woman, my values and legacy will still live after me. So you see, the male and the female relationships were not so it wasn't supposed to be complex, complicated, too difficult to achieve. And this happens when females are feminine and males are masculine. Everyone does their part, and life becomes so easy. There is nothing to negotiate. There's nothing to demand. There's nothing to request. Everybody knows what they are supposed to do right from the beginning of the male and the female's existence. So how come it became difficult to find a man who provides leadership, protection, security, and companionship for a woman? And how did we get here? That it becomes so difficult to get a woman who will provide comfort, a woman who would nurture a man's children and make sure his beliefs and legacies live beyond him. When females started questioning the supremacy of males, why is the man an overlord over the family? Who made the man the head? Why am I supposed to serve the man? Equal rights. Why must the man always have the final say? And females started seeing males as oppressors. And when females started looking for freedom, we want our rights. What a man can do, a woman can also do. We want to stand for ourselves. We want to be independent. We don't want to depend on men. We want this, we want that. We don't want this, we don't want that. Then the females started promoting self-love. They started seeking higher education. They started building wealth. They started building business empires. They started climbing higher and achieving higher social statuses. And with all these things, the things that naturally men were supposed to provide, women could afford with money. I mentioned earlier that the males provided security. Now, the females have climbed to a certain level where they can afford security with their money. We are at the point when females can afford leadership with their money. So all the things that the males provided the females in relationships, now women have acquired wealth, women have acquired status, women have acquired substance that they can now afford all those things with money. So if you are a male in a female's life, you are virtually irrelevant. Because whatever you were supposed to provide in the relationship, the woman has other options that money can provide for her. And then social media came, boom. Now, there are so many options. A male or a female could be attached with one other in a relationship, but there could be so many other options on social media. In the days of old, when it was the male and the female alone, focusing on building their family, building their legacy, building their values, now males and females are no more alone. Physically, they could be alone, but emotionally, they find themselves in a crowd. Have you been in a relationship when you want to engage your partner in an intimate or a romantic affairs and the person is on the phone scrolling? Whilst you are kissing your partner, he is scrolling on the phone. She is on TikTok. You have to do and do and do till it gets to the point when the feeling is so much, the chemistry has overtaken her that she will drop the phone and fully participate in the sexual act. But it was not supposed to be so. Even before there was physical touches, intimacy started in the mind, in the heart. Then it was built naturally till orgasm was achieved. That is why it is called intimacy. Intimate moments. Two people alone, the male and the female alone. But now, people are having intimate moments and their phone is on TikTok. They are online praying in the background. One part of the attention is online, one part is with the partner. I'm not in the mood. Then they are on the phone. Today, the companionship that males were supposed to provide for the females are no longer valued because of social media. What kind of companionship can one male provide a woman that TikTok with all the plenty men cannot provide her? So when you are a man and now you go out and you are not coming home, the woman doesn't care. Because without you, there are so many men on her phone. She makes a post and the men are commenting, the men are liking. So when a man sees the partner and says, "You are beautiful," it doesn't carry weight now. Because on social media, there are hundreds of men telling her more than she is beautiful. So now, people are living with partners, but the weight partners are supposed to be carried are missing. That is why today men go around saying we can't find better women. Women go around saying we can't find better men. Why? Because they see a lot of painted options on social media that they think these are supposed to be the better ones. Men see women who are purely garnished. They rehearse their statements, their lines, and come and sit on social media and talk with eloquence. You look at them and you think, wow, this is an intelligent woman. This is a brilliant woman. This one is supposed to be my partner. You don't know how many times they sat down to rehearse, learn, practice before they came out like that. Women see men flaunting wealth, status, speaking words of wisdom, showcasing themselves in a certain way, and they are like, wow, this is the ideal man. Then they start comparing. Because, see, when you go on social media, you will find women who looks more attractive, more intelligent, more beautiful, more everything than the partner you have. In the same way, women also find men who look masculine, attractive, intelligent, everything they desire in a man, more than they see in their partners. But these are people sitting behind screens, glass screens, just a square glass screen. Whether their mouth stinks, you can't even tell. Whether they have bad body odor, you can't even tell. Whether they have anger tantrums, you can't even tell. They come on social media to show their best parts, and that is what is creating so many noise and distractions in today's world that men cannot even sit down to find good women. Women are searching, but there are so many garnished, painted personalities on social media that when they find a man, they begin to compare him to the people they see on social media. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, Snapchat, filters. When I talk of filters, it is not the physical filters that polish the faces, but filters, emotional filters. They come and rehearse lines that have been studied, that have been learned, and you see them as intelligent. They filter their words to look so sweet in your ears. You look at them and you are like, wow, I wish I had this kind of people. Tomorrow you see another person, wow, this is better than what I saw yesterday. So how do we then focus on the people within our cycles? How then do we focus on the people beside us? That answers the question, why today there are so many single women, but men say the better ones have been taken. And women go around saying, I find it difficult to find a man who will understand and cherish me as I am. Who are you? Are you a female living in the image of a male? Because two males cannot be in a relationship. The male energy and the female energy are supposed to be opposite energies that will attract. But if the female has climbed to attain the level that males are supposed to occupy, the females have the freedom that they don't want to depend on men. Then it becomes two males in a relationship and it doesn't work. Males are supposed to feel the vulnerability of females, the softness of females, so that in that they find their strength. If you are weak, that is where I find my strength. I carry you up. When you melt on me, when you fall on me, when you depend on me, then I see myself as a pillar in your life. Even when I cannot do, I will force myself to do. Even where I cannot stand, I will force myself to stand. But when you begin to show that you have independence, you have freedom, you have wealth, you have what it takes to be on your own, with or without a man, your life is complete, then I begin to question my relevance in your life. So today, in many relationships, the men find themselves irrelevant because the things that men were supposed to provide, the woman can afford and even afford it better. And so most of the men recoil. They watch the woman. And then in so doing, the women move around in search of men who will do what? Understand them, who will bear them up. Because after all the independence, after all the wealth, after all the freedom, the woman goes and comes back to bed. And they cry within. After all the social status, the admirations, the validations, I don't have a single person who understands the innermost part of me. All the admirations, the likes, the comments, the compliments are on social media. But when I put my phone off, when I put my phone down, and I lay down quietly on my bed, who is that man? When I am broken within, who is that man who will hold and bear me up and tell me the kind of words I want to hear? When you are offline, all the attractive men, showering compliments and likes, validation on you, go silent. Then you begin to search for a man who will stay by you during those lonely moments. Today, the kind of strength that men wielded, yeah, I'm the man of the house, today it is taken from them. Women can afford that kind of strength with money. So most men don't even know whether they are men or women in the relationship. And so in order not to become the oppressive man, not to be tagged as traditional man, difficult man, primitive man, they recoil and they watch their women. So today, many women change men like clothes in search of one thing, a man who can understand them. But what is it about you that a man can understand when he looks at you and all he sees is another man? In the same way, men are looking for women that will give them the comfort, that will depend on them and make them feel like women. But now, the females you are looking at are females that are living lives higher than you. So when you go into their lives, what are you going to offer? Now, relationships have become grounds for negotiations. When the woman is coming, she is coming with her demands, and the man is also coming with his demands. So when they meet, instead of love to build, it turns into negotiations. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is how I am. This is what I stand for. You take it or you leave it. Then they are negotiating. Then they are negotiating. What do you bring on the table? This is what I stand for. I can take this. I can't take this. Why are we doing this to ourselves? If we could go back to understand the basic reasons why males and females were put together, you see that love will build naturally. When the females observed their males climbing trees, hunting, chasing wild animals, just to provide food for them, they admired them. So the male is going through all this to provide for me. Wow. In the same way, when the man comes home, burdened, tired, pained, and they observed the feminine, round, curvy nature of the woman, moving around, taking care of the offsprings, nurturing them, feeding them, then the man nods the head. This is ill. I did not make a mistake living with this woman. So it wasn't about beauty. It wasn't about pleasure. It was about the natural reasons, the biological reasons why males lived together with females. Well, my name is Emmanuel Ochirimensa. This is the Gospel Film Hub GH official YouTube channel where we stream our Christian movies. And when we are not making movies, I come here to share life experiences with you. This is what I call life and living it. And this is where I bring today's conversations to an end. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Till I come your way another time,